welcome back to Naruto Anime Review. This is special number 7, and I'm reviewing the first two light novels of the Naruto Haiden series. There's like 6 of these novels, and here's kind of the weird thing. Only the first 3 were released here. The other 3 were never released here because Viz Media is lazy when it comes to release these light novels. These bad? No. Okay. First one we're talking about is the first one released right after the end of the manga was released. Excuse me, and this is Kakashi's story, Lightning in the Frozen Sky. Yeah, this is simply put a book. Now this novel takes place almost exactly 1 year after the end of the Fourth Great Ninja War. Pretty much like 1 year after chapter 699. And simply put, Kakashi has not taken up the title of Hokage yet. Despite the fact, yeah, he's wearing his Hokage coat that he sported one time in the special in one of the anime. Pretty much the story is this: that now the main characters of this story, aside from Kakashi, is my guy Lee. Naruto himself is actually in the story at least twice. He's only in the prelude and epilogue of the story. The story is that Kakashi is very hesitant on. Now the story starts out in the prelude, basically with Naruto. Yes, the prelude is entirely focused on Naruto and him going to the Land of Waves. And apparently, there's this group of people who basically wiped out a large number of people from the Land of Waves. Oh, and there's a reference to. This is actually one of 3 novels. The reference is Zabuza. No joke. Zabuza is referenced in this novel. He is referenced in this novel. Heck, he's even referenced in the Sakura novel. Yeah, he's referenced. It's like they just cannot stop referencing this guy. Yeah, I get the fact he's an awesome character. But does he have to mention every single one of these light novels? That's what it seemed like to me. Basically, the whole thing about this one is that there's the introduction of Airship. Basically, this novel is the first time in the Naruto universe they have a canon story that talks about blimps. But they call them airships anyways. And Guy has still got his motorcycle just like he did in the anime. Oh yeah, and here's the thing. The leader of the group basically that takes group of people hostage in this novel. Yeah, he's kept in the prison, which was basically the main setting for the 5th Shippuden film, Blood Prison. No, seriously. It is that prison. The prison itself has been deemed canon by Kishimoto, despite the fact that film is not canon at all, because the continuity of the film really makes no sense. Like, apparently, this is during a period of time prior to Fourth Ninja breaking out, and apparently Naruto attacked the Kazekage, even though he hadn't met the Kazekage until when he was in his tailbeast chakra form. Yeah. Now, when it comes to this particular novel, Naruto captures the leader of the group, and the main villains are basically a brother and sister named Ryo and Keo. And here's the thing: the woman basically, here's something quite weird. There's a heavy rumor in the book basically that Kakashi has developed an attraction to this woman. Oh yeah, and she wears a blue dress. The way she's described, she kind of reminds me of the Mazakage. If she had ice powers. No, seriously, that's what she reminds. She reminds me of the Mazakage. In some way. They don't say exactly what color her hair is, despite the fact that the Mazakage's hair is red. Yeah. But this novel is just pure awesomeness at its finest. Now, the novel itself is co-written. The story itself is written by Akira Hachiya Agamai. I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name, but that's throughout the original translation of this novel. But this is just an English translation of the light novel, but it's really good. Here's something interesting, though. In the main story itself, almost every single character who is from the Hidden Leaf Village, any big-name character, with the exception of Sasuke, is in this novel. Sai is in this novel. Though he doesn't play a big part in this one. He also plays a part in the next 2 novels as well. It's like Kishimoto likes to have Sai involved with a light novel for some reason. I have no idea why, just that he is. Excuse me. And apparently this woman basically knows a particular jutsu that Haku knows. The Hakunu. Which kind of makes no sense the fact that someone would know it, because according to the series, Haku was actually the last of his clan. So my guess is it's probably a lie. That's my personal guess. Also, Kakashi's when Zabuza is referencing here, why does Kakashi tell this woman that he has met Zabuza? He's even fought the guy in the anime and the manga. He fought him twice. First at the Great Naruto Bridge, and the second time during the Fourth Great Ninja War, when he was brought back under reanimation jutsu. That's my only gripe with this thing, is the fact that nobody brings up the fact that Kakashi has met Zabuza. As a matter of fact, he was there because Zabuza died. Nobody brings that up at all for some strange reason. I have no idea why. The Razakage and Tazakage are in this book as well, though the Tazakage actually is a little bit more of a bigger role than the Razakage does. Razakage is seen for like 2 pages in here, and that's it. Guy does a bunch in here. And he refers to himself, now basically he used to refer to himself as the Hidden Leaf's Blue Beast. And here he refers to himself as the Hidden Leaf's Gentleman. And I'm glad the fact that the writer of this book basically had Mike Guy involved with the action, despite the fact the guy is basically he's a cripple. The guy basically his leg was damaged when he battled Mandara. As a matter of fact, Mandara is referenced many times this novel. Yeah, apparently these people's the guy who they're trying to free from the Hakura castle. And they reference Maru's he referenced as well. So the events of him happen, but they've been altered basically to fit into canon. So basically, not the entirety of that film was canon. The only major character in here, aside from Sasuke, is Hinata. Yeah, she's not in this novel at all. It's just basically just Sakura, Ino, Choji, Shikamaru, Sai, Rock Lee, and I think there's even a couple instances of Tenten pop up in here as well. So at least a good chunk of people are actually in this novel, which, hey, you at least got to give him something to do. Naruto is referenced once in the main story, and they want to keep him away from the situation because, well, he needs to protect the Hidden Leaf Village. Okay. This is actually the second time this has happened where somebody he is personally close to is put into danger, and Naruto's kept on the loop out of it. The last time this happened, his master died, and that was Jiraiya. Oh yeah, and he got ticked off as Hinata for doing that. Oh, and by the way, in the anime manga, he never apologized to her for snapping at her. I'm a little surprised he did that here, which I'm like, okay, that's a little odd. And Kakashi managed to convince the woman, who he developed an attraction to, by the way. And there's a big rumor that they've started up something, even though that apparently the rumors were started by Naruto because he was left out of the action. Though Kakashi hit Naruto. This is actually one of like 2 or 3 times he's ever hit Naruto. Because a lot of time when Naruto is hit, well, people who are not the bad guys, usually it's Sakura the one who beats the crap out of him. Because he's a jerk. Yeah, this is the way he is. But this novel is just really, really good. The novel itself is only just, let's see. This novel is 186 pages. Not bad for a light novel. It's basically the size of what we would think of as junior novels. Just anyways, but this novel is really, really good. The only sad thing about this novel was never adapted, but the next novel I'm talking about was definitely adapted. Pure awesomeness at its finest. Great story, great character stuff, great chemistry in the book between Kakashi and Guy, and I love the fact these two actually work together. And Guy's got great lines, and the fact he got a chance to fight the leader of the hostage takers. Yeah, he got a chance to fight him, which was awesome. And because Kakashi's so famous, like everybody knows who he is. Yeah, it's just pure amazement. At the end of the book, he does become Hokage, and his first act as Hokage is to make the the sister of the leader of the terrorist leader of the group of people who took people hostage, basically sentenced her to life in prison in this castle, but she's also served as the castle's master. Because her jutsu basically doesn't work well on him, because basically if he had activated his chakra, it would kill him. Basically, it's a similar thing to what the previous castle master did in the Blood Prison film, but instead of using like some other special jutsu, it's basically ice jutsu, but it's just really good. Yeah. I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. This book is just so good. Next up is, excuse me, Shikamaru's story, A Cloud Drifting in the Silent Dark. 1 year after the previous novel. And from what I can tell, it could take place either just prior to the events of the film to last, or just after the film last, because there's reference to Hinata in here as well, because Naruto is in this book. Now this book was adapted into the anime for 5 episodes. The only chapters are on this book, there's only 4 chapters. That's it. Now, basically, when I read this novel, because I read this after I watched the anime, after I watched the adaptation, from what I can tell from the adaptation, it's pretty close to the actual story. But they cut out some stuff. Like, there's actually a little more Naruto in the novel than it was in the anime, because Naruto is only seen briefly for like a couple minutes on screen in part 1, and he's never seen again. In here, he's actually that scene where where Shikamaru talks to Naruto before he goes off on his mission. It's actually a little bit longer. It's a great exchange of dialogue between the two of them. Plus, Naruto also gets a chance to Sakura in here. Yeah, Sakura, who's actually in the novel, but she's not in the actual 5-parter. Nope, she was absent. Oh, and one other change, aside from the fact that they cut out most of Naruto, which he was actually in the story, they cut out Gaara. Gaara in the 5-part anime, in the 5-part story, was only seen for a cameo in a flashback, where he got 1 line of dialogue, and that's it. In here, there's actually 2 full chapters with him in it. Okay, but when it comes to Shikamaru stuff, I gotta praise the adaptation for this. They did a really good job with basically everything involving Shikamaru himself. They stuck really close as they can, but I didn't appreciate the fact that when I read this novel, it's like it's a little more juice there than there was in the 5-part anime. Also, the one other change they made was that in the anime, when Tamari basically broke the wall to rescue Shikamaru, yeah, Ino and Choju actually right behind her. In the book, basically, they came in like about less than a few minutes later. They came in like not long after she did. And there's basically also a scene in here that was not technically in the anime, basically of Tamari going to Kakashi, basically begging him to basically go and rescue Shikamaru. Oh, and by the way, at the end of the novel, just like in the anime, Shikamaru asked Tamari on a date. In the anime, it's a different stage. I like, but it's fine. Oh, and there's one thing they added in here that was definitely the anime that the novel does not include. Ino being asked out by Sai. Yeah, Sai asked her out in the anime. In here, there is nothing about that at all. Heck, there's nothing about Ino basically trying to encourage Shikamaru to ask Tamari out. Yeah. But this novel is amazing. This novel is actually shorter than the previous one. Yeah. This novel is only just 172 pages, which makes this novel like 11 pages shorter than the first one. But yeah, great book. I do recommend it. If you like the 5-parter, try out the source material. There's actually a lot more story here than the actual 5-parter. Because of how much material was here, I don't really get why they only turned into a 5-parter. I mean, there's a bunch more material. Heck, there's no material in this novel that they could have broken up to about a 10-parter. Because this is just so good. Yeah, just a great novel. And I also give this novel a 9.5 out of 10. It is just amazement. Next episode, it's going to be the review of this novel when I finish reading it. Okay? This one's next episode. Alright? So, next special. Okay? So, that's it for this one. Next one's going to be special number 8, where, like I said, I'm going to review this one, another light novel that was never adapted. Okay? Excuse me. But until then, I will see you there. Bye.